Match number 8 of the Big Bash League, and the reverse fixtures have already begun. It's the Hobart Hurricanes against the Adelaide Strikers. This time we're at Launceston. Let's build our fantasy team on my 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPNcricinfo. I'm Ronald Kapoor and Tom Moody is all set to join me. Right, let's go to our pro tip for this one. And the last two T20s at Launceston with this very fixture, where spinners picked up only 4 of the 21 wickets that fell at an economy of just under 10. So we're saying in our pro tip that we should prefer more pacers for this game. That fellow Rashid Khan who keeps popping up behind me on the screen wouldn't necessarily like that pro tip, Tom, but do you?
I don't think he counts in that pro tip. He's sort of in a league of his own, but it's certainly something to take note of, particularly given early games here at this venue. You know, the ball can disappear out the ground, and as we know, spinners can be targeted. But if you're a unique spinner in a class of your own, like your Rashid Khans, it doesn't count for much.
Now, in this reverse fixture, Darcy Shaw took a liking to Rashid Khan. It's one of the rare days where he didn't have the sort of impact that he wanted, but it'll be a brave man to not have Rashid in your fantasy 11. I'm sure we'll still find place for him. Let's go to some player availability first up. Now that the warm-up games have concluded for Australia A against the Indians, let's look at the likes of Ben McDermott, Alex Carey, the striker's skipper, as well as Harry Conway, who are all likely to be available for this one. They did feature in the day-night warm-up game in Sydney. Right, let's go to our team. Before that, a quick reminder, as always, on the My 11 Circle Fantasy app, 100 credits for every user to build their fantasy team. 4 categories of players to choose from: batsmen, bowlers, wicket-keepers, and all-rounders. Every player's individual credit value is listed on the app. You can pick a maximum of 7 players from one team in any given contest, and 4 substitute options will come your way as well. Let's go to our captain choice, and Darcy Short it is. Now, after that opening game dark, we wondered, should we back Darcy Short? Tom Moody said yes, and it paid rich dividends for all those who showed confidence in him. We know how good he is in the BBL and how he loves this favourite opposition, the Adelaide Strikers. It was a scintillating 48 ball 72 in the last game that helped the Hurricanes pick up their points, and he's now scored nearly 500 runs in 9 innings at an average of over 62 and a strike rate of over 145 against the Strikers. So he's got more runs than against Rashid Khan as well. So let's back Darcy Short one more time. Alex Carey is vice-captain. The Adelaide Strikers will be very happy to welcome him back into the side. He missed his presence in the opening game against the Hurricanes, and he had a solid first-class outing too. Managed 32 and 58. A very good Big Bash League last season too. Darcy Short is captain. Alex Carey is vice-captain. Among our top picks, Riley Meredith features. He's a regular feature whenever we see the Hurricanes in action. Fact that he's become such an impressive pacer in the shortest format. Numbers pretty good too, 31 wickets in 23 games, a genuine wicket taker for the Hurricanes. Jonathan Wells is there, missed out last game, but we're expecting him to make a strong comeback. He scored more in the death overs than most other players, striking at over 170, someone that we're not going to leave out just yet. Jimmy Faulkner finds his way into our top picks. Now still just 30 years old, been around for ages as James Faulkner, but he's already started this season with serious impact. 2 for 22 and 3 for 21 with ball, and a few lusty blows with the bat coming lower down the order. We've got Jimmy Faulkner, Jonathan Wells, Riley Meredith, along with Darcy Short and Alex Carey to round up our top picks. Tom Moody, like the sound of those?
Yeah, I do. And the interesting thing about James Faulkner is that he's getting the new ball. So he's getting some overs early, which gives him the opportunity to take some wickets. He's got his fitness back, which is an important thing, because he's also contributing with the bat. So a good pick there. Riley Meredith has had a good start to the Big Bash, and he's got a great strike rate. So expect him to continue to take wickets. And as I said before, Darcy Short, never write him off. He's a dynamic player, and he's proven that year in, year out.
Yep, and he's going to be up against his favourite opposition, like we said. So Darcy Short, again, gets Tom Moody's endorsement. Why shouldn't he? So back him in your team. Let's go to some differential picks. Now I wonder what Tom makes of this in a bit. Ben McDermott is featuring in our team, but came on the back of a poor BBL last season, and did have a solid Sheffield Shield for Tasmania, and then managed 107 not out against India A in the recent tour game. So he's got good first-class form coming into this, and he did manage a 49 ball 96 against the Sixers in the Big Bash trial game. So Ben McDermott's there. So too Dan Worrell, very fine 39 ball 62 not out in the last game for Dan Worrell, and he's usually someone who gets you points with ball and bat. So we're not going to leave Dan Worrell out just yet. Ben McDermott and Dan Worrell in our differential picks. McDermott and Alex Carey are keeper options. Darcy Short as our captain choice. Will Jacks, Colin Ingram, Jake Weatherall, Jonathan Wells, Jimmy Faulkner, Riley Meredith, Rashid Khan and Dan Worrell. Substitutes bench features the likes of Peter Siddle, Matt Renshaw, Tim David and Peter Hanscom. We're throwing in some alternate scenarios. Rashid Khan's numbers against the Hurricanes are poor. So can you or would you consider Peter Siddle to replace Rashid Khan or Dan Worrell? I can't believe we've been saying it. So let's go to a man who knows Rashid Khan very well. Tom, thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I wouldn't be considering that at all. If anything, that's the energy that Rashid Khan needs to perform. So, yeah, look, you may consider it, but I'd be backing Rashid Khan every day of the week. The one that I would possibly consider is Siddle in for Dan Worrell. And well, you know Dan Worrell got half century last game, but Siddle's got a better strike rate. So if you're looking for wickets and looking for points through that, that's certainly one to consider. But again, it's there's a couple of obvious picks in there. Colin Ingram is a dangerous player. He's had success in the Big Bash before. Bats at the top of the order, along with Jake Weatherall is another one who's a consistent performer. So it's a pretty good lineup you've got there.
Right, thank you very much, Tom Moody. It's going to be a brave man to leave Rashid Khan out, and we're not suggesting it, even though we've given you that in an alternate scenario. Do make sure you check in on latest team news after the toss to confirm your fantasy sides, and we'll be back with plenty more stats, data, and expert opinion to help you pick your fantasy teams on My 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPNcricinfo.